back to Harvard, we'll do some javelin. We got practice with the Harvard kids, and then we got a lift after that.
So a busy day.
Busy day. Usual busy day. My name is Matt Chisam, decathlete, training for Olympic trials, Olympic Games, 2008. Training, working, seeing what I can do. Born and raised California. My parents were actually coaches. Growing up, they're coaches and teachers. Growing up, I always told myself, doesn't matter what I do, I just don't want to be a coach or a teacher. I never really wanted that lifestyle. I wanted to go out and, get a job and actually make some money, do some things. All I've done is coach and teach, basically. Mostly because of the training, because that's what fits in. And it's one of those few things that you kind of have to do in order to have the time for training. It's one of the few things that allows me to have the time that I can go during off for 3-4 hours during the middle of the day and get work in. I can kind of work on my own time. I got the weekends to work with the kids and can do things at night. A lot of times I'm in the office until 9 p.m. or something like that, just because I'm getting the work in later that I couldn't do during the day. It's very difficult to do with the 9 to 5. That's why you see a lot of the athletes are coaches. Luckily, I've had some experience in it, and I think I do pretty well with it, so it helps out too. And I definitely enjoy that aspect of it too. Once I graduated college, I just kind of took some time off and tried to decide whether or not I was going to keep going. Talked to some friends, talked to family, talked to coaches, and they talked me into keep going. Since then, I've been taking it year by year, where I said, I'm going to do it this year. I'm going to do it as hard as I can and see what happens at the end of the year. If I'm still doing well and see myself progress and see myself as a shot at an 8,000 point type thing, then I'm going to keep going. And since then, I've had no regrets for it. It's just been, everything's been improving, kind of adding a little to the excitement of it. Kind of the goal is always to get to the Olympic trials and see what happens from there. If I get there and I still see a lot of potential for more growth, then it might be worth it to keep going. The first day I hang in there and do my best, see what I can do, and then come back second day and hit those technical events and really try to start picking some people off. It's one of the things my dad told me that one of the first decathlons I did. He said, first day's for athletes, second day's for decathletes. Anybody can do the first day of the decathlon. You just get out there, you run, you jump. It's a lot of pure talent stuff, but it's that second day that kind of sets people apart, and that's where you kind of come along. And last year I was starting to get a point where I was actually scoring as many points on the second day as I was on the first. Getting to the point where I'm strong in a lot of things, but I've got to find the pieces that I'm exceptional in. I've got a good ball, I've got good hurdles, I've got these things that are just good, but they're on the breaking point of being great. And when I get to the point where a couple of those events are great and where I'm, not just up there with the better of the decathletes, but I'm above the rest of the decathletes in those few other events, that's kind of my key. For right now, it's just one of those things I'm taking year by year, month by month, where it's just doing the best I can. And it's one of those things I've always kind of known I've had some potential for, some talent for, but it's trying not to worry about, Olympic this, Olympic that, just kind of goal by goal. It's just increasing your marks and, making a team here or there, be an Olympic team, maybe just a national team, and, make it to the trials. And that's kind of always been the goal, is just the trials, knowing you're there. And then getting there, and then once you get there, just competing and seeing what happens. Track and field is one of those crazy things where you've got to show up on that one day in order to make the team. It's who's best that one day, or in our case, those 2 days, and that's it. So you just kind of do your best till you get there and just see what happens.